Good morning, Robin. How are you this morning? Well, there's one thing I've got to say, but I'll wait until a few more people come in. Woman of Spirit, happy Saturday. Blessed Saturday to you too, lady. I got a bunch of chicks hatching right now. Kevin Moss says, good morning. Good morning, Kevin. I hope Robin C is still here. Feather Connection Home says, hey, Verna, hopping on before Farmer's Market. Nice to see you, Tickle Trunk. Woman Spirit says, oh, that is great. Hey, Tickle Trunk, look what I'm wearing. My Quail mask. Good morning, Jesse Mills. Yeah, we did good on that one. I used a cup last week. This week I'm using my rainbow cup. I see so many people are having problems with drought this year. And Feather Connection says she loves it. Yep, we did real good with this. Are any of you having problems with drought this year? Robin, I am doing wonderful. I have chicks hatching. You, Woman of Spirit says she needs one of those shirts. You need to get hold of Feather Connect's website. Let me see if I can put that up here. Let me see. Wait a minute, I did a mistake. Let me get that up. Okay, here's the link to our store where you can get a t-shirt or coffee cup like that. Jesse says, did you see Living Traditions' new video this morning on the drought? Yeah, Jesse, I posted it on my feed even. You have new, and Robin says she has grow outs and another batch incubating. I have grow outs I got that are 3 weeks old, so I have to put them into a regular cage so I can get the new ones that are hatching into the brooder box. Lorna Spirit says the garden started off looking great in the past 3 weeks. Even though I water things, they're starting to die down like the plants think it's fall. That's the same thing that Living Traditions is showing. It says Quail math. 2 times 4 equals 100, and it's real. Robin says her raspberries are drying up. Well, getting ready for the freeze dryer, I suppose. And Woman of Spirit, you're welcome. I know, Kelly and I did that together. Says if there's a drought most places, what's going on in Kentucky and Missouri? Now, Missouri is having the drought. I'm not sure about what Kentucky's going through. We're not in Southwest Ohio, which is just above Kentucky, we're not doing bad at all, Kelly. Um, the temperature's even cooler than most places are getting. Let me see what it says today's high temperature is supposed to be. Yeah, we're only supposed to get up to 82. And right now it's only 72. Yeah, Kentucky and Virginia, I think, have all the way to Virginia is having problems with flooding. But it's like Missouri and Arkansas and Texas. They're all going through a drought and it's bad. I said before that desert, that New Mexico, Nevada, and Arizona is in, is just going to get bigger. Well, I don't know. Vegas was having dry soons instead of monsoons. Kelly, so I don't know if they finally got their monsoon. I haven't talked to a witch doctor lately. And Robin says she's in Michigan, no flooding near me, even though I'm only a couple of blocks from the river. Which river, Robin? Jesse Mill says here in northeast Iowa, we're below normal on rain and high on temp, but not near as bad as other places. We've been getting a little rain here and there, so it's staying green. That's good because Oklahoma is in bad drought. They don't have any green anywhere. Everybody's getting worried because they're not having to put hay out now instead of harvesting hay. Oh, you're by the Detroit River. I used to live by the Miami River. I mean, the Maumee River. Right now, I live by the Miami River, and the Miami River to me is just a glorified creek. Go lay down, Lucy. I'm talking on the computer. All right, come on up. She's got to have her. She's thinking she needs some attention. You're just north of the Maumee. Okay, I lived right at Maumee Bay. That's where I came from originally. 13 years ago. And this is Lucy, everybody. I lived just down the street from that Maumee Bay State Park. I camped there before it became a park. Robin said, "Hi, Miss Lucy." She don't she don't care about the computer. She's just upset because I'm giving the computer verbal attention instead of her. You ain't gonna give me a kiss? I'll kiss you instead. Yeah, we used to sit on my porch. I used to live on Otto Key Street off of Bayshore Road. And we used to sit on our porch and watch tornadoes form in Lake Erie and hit Bowling Green, Port Clinton, and everything. Robin, he said you camped there even when they were building? Yeah, so did I. I camped there just when they were doing the survey for it and everything. Oh, she gave me a hug. Everybody ready for QuailCon? I've got about 30 birds I'm going to have to process because I'm going to process all the ones I have that are adults and just grow up the babies. I know you will, Kelly. We're going to have fun. Robin, yeah, Lake Erie and in Detroit River, same lake, but different cities. Yep. Good morning, Dawn Ray. Five people here. We got 5 likes. I love that. Ready for QuailCon, but never prepared. LOL. Everybody saying hi to Dawn. This is really doing good. What you want? You need to get down now. You know you're an attention whore. Yeah, you are. Dasher's your. You say, Robin. See, you say Dasher, and you are ready. Is Dasher your dog? Yep. Robin says, "What kind of dog is it?" See, now you can see Lucy real good. John says, "I can share this here. You will understand. I finally had the male and female ratio good in the aggressive birds call. Great." Robin says she's got a golden retriever. And Dawn says, "I'm so happy. Hi, Lucy." Well, she showed herself off. Now she's sitting down. Now go lay down. Yes. You already got your eggs over there. Mommy gave you 2 dozen eggs. Yeah, Lucy is a chocolate lab and some greyhound breeds mixed. Robin says, "That's a great achievement, Dawn." Dawn says she has a rat terrier and a treeing feist. Gotta love dogs. John says, "Thank you, Robin. It was not easy and very frustrating." Don, you got to remember, everything takes time and it will all come together in time. Kelly says, "I want to know how you and Zach met." Oh, me and Zach met? Okay. Um, Between Keeping It Dutch and Hidden Heights Farm, and then my mind just went blank. I got introduced into the Quail. I went through some bad, bad experience. See, Hidden Heights Farm sent me some eggs. Kevin from Hidden Heights, he did not know anything about how to package eggs. So he sends me a dozen eggs. Most of them are cracked and busted. Daniel Arn's family home said, no, but Daniel, Kevin, and Dutch, I used to call the three brothers because they were all good friends. And Kevin and Sean from Keeping It Dutch grew up together, and then they met Daniel from Arn's family. But anyhow, Kevin sent me some quail eggs. Well, out of that dozen, I had two birds that hatched, but one died. So the one stayed alive. They're not just the orientation brothers; they're the ornery brothers. When they get together, it's a laugh riot. Um, but anyhow, uh, my mind keeps going back because I keep trying to think of the other name. Slightly redneck, and and I hate to say it, but CC, and I found out how CC was because him and I got in a few arguments about breeders. But anyhow, slightly redneck introduced me to my Shire farm. Yeah, Chris. But I was having a brain fart. You know how that is, Robin. Uh, so when I found out about my Shire farm, because I had used a few of those others, I don't even want to name their names. I had got birds with deformities that had growths on their head that weren't right, where they couldn't even go through the cage. I had a problem with hatching time cages. One thing is I'm too old to be bending down to the that low of a cage on the bottom. But anyhow, I heard about my Shire and found out it was local. Now local is always best because the other one was from Missouri and stuff. And their birds, the hatch rates were terrible, and the birds were had deformities. And so I found out about my Shire, found out they were local. And then I found out he had a YouTube channel. Then I started talking to him. And then we got together. I mean, we were meshing perfectly. Then a year ago last May, I asked him if he'd mind if I came out to the farm for my birthday. And that's when we met in person. We've already been buddies on YouTube and Facebook and, the phone. Then we met in person. Ever since I've been a fast family friend with them because they are the same way in person as they are online. They're a great family. The whole family is great. And George is just as comical in person as he is on the channels. I know it's when you meet somebody and you connect strong. And I warned him about a certain person then, and he didn't believe me, and so I kind of went along with him. And that person showed their actual true colors just 3 months later, 4 months later. Yeah, George is great. Now you know why him and Zach are best friends. And Kelly, their whole family is great. Well, Zach's now got three, I think, three rabbits, and he uses um, George's buck, I think. He has New Zealand's. I'm not sure exactly what Zach has. I do not know for sure. I've seen him, but rabbits aren't my thing, so it goes in one ear and out the other. See, I don't think about things unless I can own them, and then I start keeping everything in. You got a nano. I don't know what a cotton nano is. Yes, I believe he said New Zealand's. That's what I tried to start with. That's what Don says. Robin, what is a cotton nano? Oh, you bought Robin says they're similar to Flemish Giant. Dawn says I bought three for my breeder going out of business, and I think they are duds. Uh, are they three does, Dawn? If they're, I did learn that if rabbits get too much food, put on too much weight, then they can't breed. You have to put them on a diet. Then again, that person may have sold you two old of rabbits. One older doe, one young doe, and one buck. Are you just giving them that half a cup of feed each? Judge Mills, I hung out with George a while on Saturday night last year at QuailCon. He was cool. He tried to get me in trouble with the kittens. LOL. I got told no on bringing one home. Letty wanted one too. John says the heat wave hasn't helped. Yeah, that's another thing. You may want to wait, Don. You may want to wait until cooler weather, like maybe September, to start breeding them. Robin says I got silver fox, California Flemish Giants, and Continental. Robin says, LOL, he sure did, Jesse. Don says, yes, my rabbits are thin. Yeah, it may be too hot to breed them. You may have to wait until the weather cools off. So I even heard that the buck goes sterile during when it's too hot. Rob says it may just be the buck. If the buck is young, between the between it being young or hot, it could be a problem. Dawn says Robin Silver Fox was my first choice, but they were so expensive on the East Coast and hard to find here in West Virginia. Oh, so Dawn, you're not that far away either. I had to call one bird, one of my 3 weeks old yesterday. It got its knees caught in the half inch um, hardware cloth, and it didn't recover from it after I freed it, so I had to call it. So Lucy had a fresh one for breakfast yesterday. Dawn says, no, Verna, last time I drove home to visit my son in Indiana, I think I was passing near Miamisburg. But you'll be able to be there this year, right? And you said, I don't think I'm very far from you at all. I'm in Franklin, Ohio, which is about 15 minutes away from Zach's farm if you drive, but I don't drive, so they come pick me up. Jesse Mill says, Robin, LOL, they were so cute, and I don't really like cats. Cats, LOL. We have 4 cats already. They are good for mice. Years ago when I had an appliance shop, we had a black cat, and it was good for security too because it'd get up top of the refrigerator. Someone give me a hard time, and it would scare the heck out of people. Robin's had her quail taco turned out great last Tuesday. That's wonderful. Did you put the recipe into Quail in the Kitchen? Dawn Ray says I had bought 2QuailCon tickets, but no donated them back to Zach because my sons are coming to visit that weekend for my birthday. I'll miss you all, but I'm so excited to see my sons and grandchildren. Oh, that's sweet. Well, family comes first. And what day's your birthday, Dawn? Well, tacos. September 5th. Cool. Robin says, Jesse, I can't do cats. Have 4 dogs with high blood drive, pit bulls and mastiffs. Well, Robin, if you brought in a baby kitten and show the dogs that it was your pet, that they weren't allowed to hurt it, then they may end up babying it. And Robin said, "Happy early birthday, Dawn." Dawn said, "Thank you, Robin." Yeah, I'll remember towards QuilCon, Dawn. I'll tell you when it gets closer. So Ed should be getting his blown eggs today. I sent him 150 of them. Take care, Robin. Take care, Dawn. And glad that you were able to make it even for a little bit. Yeah, do you guys see the necklaces that Ed has been making? Let me show you one of the necklaces. And this is how he wraps them. So they're very secure. See, this is the necklace. And the chain is big enough, almost big enough to go over my head. Oh, he's also doing earrings now. And so at QuilCon, at QuilCon, we should have the near earrings and necklaces for sale, as well as the wreaths. And the cookbooks. So because oh, I hate this sinus weather. Jessie says, Robin, see, we have 5 dogs. Just recently lost our 6th. He was a 150-pound American Bulldog Malamute mix. He tried to mother all babies from new hatched chicks to bunny reptiles. It didn't matter to him. Then he says, bye, Dawn. Robin, he was I thinking of using the feathers to do jewelry. Robin, feathers would be great earrings. Because you could use wing feathers for that. Hey, cuz. Hey, y'all. I almost slept in. Yep, you only missed half of an hour of it. So, cuz, what are you bringing into QuailCon this year? Are you bringing an 18-wheeler in so you can take everything back? Or just a half-ton pickup? Yeah, feathers for dream catchers as well is true. Oh, in about another week or so, a week or two, I should be having my freeze dryer. Robin says, only one of the dogs I truly trust with small animals. He is a 110-pound mastiff. He just had emergency surgery for a blockage. Last week was touch and go. He has 27 staples. Oh, Robin, I'm so sorry, but I'm glad he's okay now. Haha, 18-wheeler, just my Toyota truck. I can't buy him out. No, I wasn't talking about buying Zach out. There's going to be a lot of vendors too. So you guys can do your Christmas shopping in September. Because you got cookbooks, jewelries, and a whole bunch of other stuff. I'm sure there's going to be cages for sale and everything else. Robin and Steve are saying hi to each other. Let's see. I was afraid my humidity got too high on my incubator and I was afraid I drowned my chicks. But then just before I went to bed this morning, I saw two had hatched. And then I looked in there a little bit ago and there's quite a few in there. Robin asked, Jesse, how is the cage you won working out for you? And Jesse says hi to Swanson. I'm so used to just responding to the chat. I'm trying to get in the habit of reading you guys before I answer because I got told about people didn't know who I was answering when I was talking. So most people do hate the hatching time cages. I hate to say, I had gave mine away. And so Swanson says, on my last hatch, I saw my humidity shoot up to like 90% as they were getting ready to hatch, but I just walked away and they did great. Mine had shot up to 85% for 3 days. And I'm thinking, oh, well, if they drown, I'll just have to start hatching all over. Um, but I've got them hatching. Rob says, I love the morning the eggs are hatching. I call it popcorn time. Sounds of empty eggs hit each other as the chicks peep and then move around. Yeah, and they roll the eggs all over the place. They roll them all to the edges of the cage. What I like is when the first one hatches and he tries to call out and encourage the others to come join him. So before I move those to the brooders, I have to move the birds in the brooders out to cages, and so I sex them and put them in my single layer breeder cage. Females on one side, males on the other. I was I was given the Wynola 3-tier breeding cage, and today I'll be taking the sections out of that and use them all as colony cages. Robin, come to think of it, I don't remember who won the 5-tier cage. It may have been Brandon. I'm not sure. But on the 3-tier cage, 5-gallon bucket of water only lasts us 2 or 3, no more than 3 days. Robin says, I bought the $30 Manola cage for Quail. I bought 3 of them, looking to add more to this time. Robin, how are you using them? Just says, Robin, I was hoping to, but no such luck. Water spirits, I really like my Winola 5 tier, but I would love to have a way to add a sandbox. That's the thing I don't see. What I do is when I arrange the birds, I'll throw them in a sandbox while I'm rearranging the cages or cleaning the cages. That's the only way that mine gets the sandbox because, yeah, no room. And could you imagine having to, if you're using colony cages, women of spirit, and if you add a sandbox to one side of each cage, a block like, and just cut a hole big enough in that metal, big enough for the quail to go in and out of, then you can have your own sandbox in each one. I see somebody that did that, but I can't remember who it was. It's where they actually added on a box to the Linola Ranch cages on the side. Anyone know the height of from the floor to the top of the trough waterer in those cages? If you're talking of each cage or the floor of the cage, I usually put it on the second rung on the cage, and that's where I attach it to. If you give me a second, I'll go and measure. Have fun, Kelly, at Farmer's Market. Give me a second, and I'll go measure. Okay, I just went and measured. See, it's exactly 4 inches from the bottom of the cage to the top of the water trough. Robin says, I am using them as hanging cages, converted an old chicken coop as their shelter and hang them in there. The other side is a cabinet holding the food, vitamins, rooster booster. That is a great idea, Robin. Buddha Spirit, the side of the cage has metal sheet. I think it could be reworked to drop open to add a sandbox. The only thing about you don't want it to drop open, Woman of Spirit, is because that gives support to the cages. You may want to have a hole cut in it, maybe a 2 inch hole in the center so that they can run in and out, or you can attach it to the back but away from your water where they can, and you only clip a few wires to where they can go in and out of the sandbox. Yeah, because the holes in the back of the cages are 2 inches high. So from the bottom of the cage to the ring that I put it on is 4 inches, and it hooks right there. That's why I always keep a measuring tape near me, is for questions like that. In fact, I got a couple measure tapes, tape measures. Woman of Spirit, it might be better if you attach it to the back of the cage if you're using colony cages. And on the side of the water trough that the water doesn't do. Yeah, you can hang it with O-rings and just snip some of the bigger wires there and sand it down a little so they don't get cut when they go in and out. You have to attach it with O-rings, but then you want to attach the sides and back too so the birds don't get out. And have an access door on it so you can get into the box where you're putting the sand in, because you know they're going to want to lay their eggs in there too. Robin says, when I clean the cages, I put a box of sand in to entertain them. When I pull the tray out, they don't panic. Oh, mine don't panic when I do it or not. Once they see what I'm starting to do, it's like, oh, cool. But when I need to clean the actual cage inside and outside of the cage, that's when I throw them all one cage at a time. I'll throw them all into the sandbox. Let them have fun while I'm sanitizing their cages, because I have to do that by hand anyhow because I'm in a upstairs apartment. So I use it. I use KOE and use this little measuring in a water bucket, and then I clean out the cages. See, with Quail, you have to think, put yourself in their size, and look at everything like, how would you escape if you were in a cage? And we're more intelligent than a quail, so hopefully we can catch it all. You may have to go through your sandbox, Swanson, because to see if there's any eggs in there. But as I was saying, you got to think of how you would escape and then do everything like that. Yes, Robin, but being in a second floor apartment, I cannot get the cages outside to spray and wash them, to power wash them. I have to do mine with a bucket of water and a scrub sponge and a towel and an empty tray to catch the water that drips out. I thought so, because yeah, but it really doesn't take that long because you see where it's dirty at. You don't have the power washer, and you don't have to wait for the sun to dry everything. And afterwards, it's a good way to mop the floors afterwards because you've already got it all wet. Oh, we're down to 3 people. Somebody needs to share this so other people can come in. I can't share it now that I'm live. Let me see. Yeah, I can. Yeah, the power washer is convenient for me as I'm lazy, so mine are outside near the ditch. Yeah, because then all that water can go right into that ditch, cause and feed the fishies. But see, mine's in an apartment building, and I'm on the second floor. Now, if I was on first floor, that would have been a different story. Ron says, my grouts have a sand floor. My brooder has fine hay straw floor, and I use the straw on the bottom of my raised beds. That's good. Because after I pull my potatoes out this year, I'm going to fill those bags with quail poop for next year. Because next year I'll just mix it all up. But it had the winter to cool down the manure. You know, if you wanted to free range quail in your garden, you can put good morning while edibles. Hi there, about to start chores, but seeing your live. Good morning there. But as I was saying, you can take the make wire cages and put them in your gardens, cage runs like they do for chickens. But you can do that for quail just as long as you predator proof it, and they'll help keep the bugs down in your um, garden. But you have to, that way you can keep them safe from predators. And it would do good if you use one of those electric fences to go around it, so that other predators can't come in and get them. Well, says I want to cage quail in the fall in my garden for a little bit before it got too cold. If you have, if as long as they have a way to get in and out of the weather, um, they should be able to be okay in your garden even during winter, as long as you got a hutch for them to get in and out of the weather. You have to protect them good. Yes, you do. But another thing you can do is in the fall when you're done with your garden, you could throw the manure, the quail manure, on your garden, and it'd be fertilizer for next spring. That's about right. Because of bird netting over the top at head height. Well, ever since our weathers get bad here in Ontario, but in our shed they are fine. Yeah, they just, if they have a way to get out of the wind, rain, snow, out of the elements, they would be fine. Robin says, I had dogs, no squirrels, raccoons, possums, or coyotes. No neighborhood cats either. I have a dog, but there's a bunch of feral cats around here because the lady in the upstairs apartment next to mine is the cat lady. She feeds all the wild cats. So I can't even put my birds in a little cage and take them outside because then I'd have to worry about the cats. And we do have a skunk family that hangs around. Verna, I will bring photos of my setup. That's great, Robin. I would love to see that. Wild edibles. We have Rama chickens, too. Tiny chickens, just tiny bit bigger than quail. We will cage a small flock in our shed, too. Kind of like a barn, but we live in town, small yard. Well, you're a little bit bigger than I am, wild edibles, because I'm in a one-bedroom apartment and the quail have the bedroom. And it's on the second floor, so. And I'm 1 block away from Main Street. Wild edibles, we are having a mink, raccoon, and groundhogs and rats in my yard. I live in the city, always on the lookout for predators. Yeah, we have groundhogs around here too. And moles. We have moles up the butt. But they seem to have left the property here. They were here last year on this property. Now they moved over. S.O. Swanson says, I have had crow out sitting on my cages and running around the ground. Yeah, crow would grab them. Woman of spirit, groundhogs are good eating. Rousey wildebeest. Yes, urban setting here too. Neighbors who don't like dogs. Another who doesn't like birds. Privacy fences make great neighbors. I agree with that, Robin. Privacy fences make great neighbors. But you better have security cameras out because with privacy fence, it also invites thieves to come in because it gives them a chance to break in. Wild animals says yes, exactly. Even in town, this mink or it's small, but it doesn't bug all the time. Must be hungry time for it, probably feeding a family. And I'm trying to learn this predator. Robin, see, I sure do. Yeah, I love security cameras. When I lived in the other apartment complex before I moved here, I was on fifth floor, and I knew that the maintenance man was coming in when I wasn't around, and I didn't like that because you can tell when you enter your apartment something's wrong. So I put a security camera in, pointing right at the only door entering my apartment. He didn't want to come in at first, but I sure stopped him from coming in when I wasn't there. Woman of Spirit says, yes, I thought about cooking him on the grill. Just too busy with quail and rabbits. Garden goods to can. Well, Eva says, we just caged my Muscovy ducks and ducklings to keep them safe. No holes bigger than an inch. Need to finish it today, though. Well, that's good. But you got to remember, well, edibles, if you have problems with snakes, an inch hole is all they need to get in and devour your eggs and chicks. Travis said, well, edibles, we had to put a rat walk under fence. I didn't want my dogs messing with them. Paul Edibles says the ducklings are so cute. No snakes here. Good. That's good. You don't have any snakes. Now, if you don't have your QuailCon tickets, this is where you need to go to get them. See, I have my eggs separated in two categories. The small eggs are from the pansy peas and the growl peas. The large eggs are from my jumbo wilds and jumbo white wings. Wilderness Bear says, seems to me with farmer crops being low, the critters will invade cities for food. They could very well be because in the drought areas, the plants are acting like it's October already, September, October. Wild Edible says, I use a cage at the bottom too bigger than an inch, but still small slats, hard to explain longer than an inch, but thinner than an inch. Best I can do should work predator protected on the bottom too. That's great. That's exactly moving in on our garden and animals. See, are we're not in drought, so we don't have that problem here. We just have the usual problems of feral cats and skunks, because cats and skunks run together. Rose says, my city doesn't allow chickens, but still raised 150 meat chickens through 2020, lol. Robert, I think your ordinance is probably against roosters. But meat chickens, you can do it because they don't get full grown when you call them. S.O. Swanson's way to be sneaky there, Robin. While out of us, LOL, good for you. Robin say all chickens. Well, you know what, Robin? I would still sneak and do it. Because if you have them in a behind a privacy fence and shielded so others can't see it, keep doing it. I would say to hell with them. If I had the room here, I would do it, but I don't have the room. And since I've got into quail, I don't like chicken anymore. The only thing I like is chicken wings. Woman of Spirit, Robin, what breed of meat chickens? Wild edibles, we are allowed roosters, but need to be respectful. When I pick up extra roosters, I process them quickly. LOL. Robin says Cornish. So you're doing the little game hens. Oh, the Cornish cross. Largest was 8 pounds after processing. Wow. And woman experience says Cornish cross is fast growing. You can call it 8 weeks. Yeah, I think it is 8 weeks that you can call. 8 to 10 weeks. While you guys are talking about Cornish, I'm going to get some more coffee. Lucy, get these eggs up off the floor. I'm not going to step on those eggs for you. Let's see. Well, it says I had 10 silky roosters delivered for free last year, but 10 in town can drive neighbors nuts. LOL. Oops. So we kept 2 for breeding our silkies and processed the rest. Free chicken, I don't mind. S.O. Swanson says free tastes better. Robin's exactly a wild edibles. Woman of spirits. Oh, I need more coffee too. I love coffee. Well, I'm drinking plain coffee today. Wild edible says my chickens have went broody nonstop, so I have chicks everywhere right now. LOL. No need for meat birds. Robin C says I should be cleaning, but this is more fun. I agree. I have the quail room to finish up cleaning. Well, out of us $25 for a chicken in the store right now. Oh my God, I said it's too much. I should be having a freeze dryer in a couple weeks. And I'm going to move my freezer into the quail room. Put my freeze dryer in the kitchen where my freezer is. Because the only thing I'm going to use the freezer for is pre-freezing what I go to freeze in the freeze dryer. Because I want to freeze dry spatcock quail and everything. Robin says, where did you say to put the taco recipe? Robin, put it in Quail in the Kitchen. Let me get you the link for that. Well, Robin says, I have 4 chickens I need to process. Probably Monday so I can save money there. Wild edible. Um, by by Tuesday, I will be processing about 30 or so birds. My friend, Wild Edible says, my friend got into following you. Oh, he got me into quail. He got out. None of his family wanted to eat them. Oh, man, that's a shame. There are so many good ways to cook quail. Robert says, okay, I will put it on my to-do list during break times. I'm going to make my zucchini bread today. Robin, are you going to use quail eggs in your zucchini bread? Wild Edibles says, but he gave me 150 quail and cages. Well, that's good for you, Wild Edibles. I hope you join Quail in the Kitchen because you can learn how to make some good things to do with quail, whether it's their eggs or the birds themselves. And Robin, I also have a recipe in there for zucchini bread. Wild Edible says I have several breeding cages, different colors now, and he gave me 3 incubators, so I have a great start. And I agree with S.O. Swanson when he said score. Robin, you're like I am. We both only use quail eggs. One of us, I love cooking with quail and eggs too, so yummy. But when I get my freeze dryer, all my excess eggs I'll be able to freeze up and make into egg powdered eggs. And then when you reconstitute them, it's just as fresh as if I just cracked the shells open. Rosie says, dang nice friend. Wish I had a friend like that. LOL. Yeah, well, out of us. I ended up making him take money. He didn't want anything, but that's worth a lot. Yeah, well, edibles, I agree. It is worth a lot. And if he didn't want monies, if you had another animal you could have gave to him instead, that'd have been great too. Wellness Bear says, I'm making peach salsa today. Then formulate a quail recipe to use the salsa. Oh, woman of spirit, when you do that, add it to Quail in the Kitchen. If you do it quick enough, I'll be able to put it in the next book. Because remember, the next book comes out at QuailCon. I would get my hair cut for 2 children, or 2 chickens. Oh, you get your hair cut for 2 chickens. Yeah, I gave the wild animals. Yeah, I gave them a couple of pens. Actually, they liked my leg bar chickens, and they were oddballs here. Did you give him a rooster too, or did he already have a rooster? Wild animals. Yeah, exactly. Trading bartering. That's the best way to do things. Around here, what I do is, since I'm on a fixed income, I don't give cash for tips. I give 2 dozen quail eggs for a tip. Robin says, LOL, most chickens were oddballs. Woman Express says, okay, we'll get on the recipe ASAP. That's great, Woman of Spirit. Wild Edible says he had a rooster. I took a few of his extras. Oh, wow, he was just giving you a lot of things, wasn't he? LOL, agreed, chickens are weird. When I lived in Oregon, Ohio, I had a couple of, I had 3 hens. I had one that kept getting out of the 8 foot high dog pen and flying off. This kid kept bringing them back. The second time he brought it back, I said, that's your chicken now, and gave it to him. Well, edibles, his family didn't get into the meat from home deal, but we love loving our food. A lot of a lot of people nowadays don't understand why you raise food when you can get it at the store. They cannot understand that the food they get at the store came from some farm anyhow, even if it's a manufactured farm. Robin says, my chickens would always use me as a roost when I want in their area. Now that is comical. I can see one on each shoulder, one on your head. So Swanson, wild edibles, it's something about seeing the live animal in their faces too. They don't realize that store meat has faces too. Robin C says, they love to be on my shoulders. Now I used to have a macaw, and he was my buddy. He'd be on my shoulders and everything else. In fact, if he heard me come home from work, he would yell for me, Mom, Mom, Mommy. Well, the spirit says, if all people had to grow or call their food, they would starve. I agree, they would become vegetarians. And then when they realize that plants are living, what are they going to do then? Wild Edible says, I can't eat much from the stores these days. I want to be part of my food growth. But many people can't do the deed at the end. It's hard. I've cried, but I'd rather cry than eat factory food. I agree, Wild Edibles. When I first started calling the birds, the most I could do at a time was 6, and I cried all while doing it. Then it would take me 3 days to recover from it because of my other problems I have that aggravated it. But now I can do it. I can do a couple dozen and then wait a couple days and do a couple dozen more. Robin says, my animals I raise for meat have only one bad day in their lives. Exactly, and that's calling day. And if you do it right, they don't even realize that. Because they're getting a little loving just before you call them. And while Elvis says, I think we miss this, even though it's hard, it's a part of respect. Yes, because everything goes in a circle. You got birth, and then it ends in death. It's all part of the cycle of life. While edibles, I also cried. I still thank them when I call. Then I call. That's what I do. Since I do it all here at my desk, I'm facing this way, and I got my cone holder here and all my pots and pans here, and I put them in my lap, and I pet them and try to calm them down before I do the bloodless call. Then I'll put them in the cone, cut their necks, and let them drain out. Good morning, Ed Got Bait. Wild Animal says, respecting our food, but also how we treat each other. Young men are missing this part of their food cycle. I think that's why they can get too aggressive. They're not getting it out. I think the other thing is between the games and the media, they're devaluating life and not showing respect for life and the cycle of life. And everybody's saying good morning to Ed. So wild edible is James. Exactly, the cycle is so important. I got mate says, LOL, good morning all, and yes, I just woke up. I know that I didn't see you on earlier. Robin says, they don't learn responsibility and humanity. No, they don't learn compassion. They don't learn empathy. They don't they're all brought up that everything should be given to them, and they have no responsibility, no repercussions for what they do. Wild animals. Me, my name is Tammy, but I go by Wild on YouTube. Okay, Tammy. I'm wondering who Ed is calling James. Oh, Jesse James. Okay, I got it now. Duh, sometimes I take things wrong. No, it wasn't mistyping, only in the fact that you didn't use commas. So when you said Jesse, I was thinking you were saying hi to James too. So I was trying to figure out who was James. And then I realized you're calling Jesse Mills Jesse James. But Ed, so far I found 12 wishbones for you. Tammy, are you going to be at QuilCon? Ed, I got chicks hatching. They started hatching about 2 o'clock this morning. I know we're also sad that you can't make it, Ed. Sadly, he says, sadly, I will not be at QuilCon. But maybe next year you will. Robin C says, I'm going to take you with me to do dishes. So we'll be just listening. Just make sure you put us where we don't get wet. So Swanson says, that's disappointing, Ed, though I understand. Yeah, it's all where the medical system is letting him down. Oh, sorry to hear that, Ed. Robin C said. Woman Spirit, everyone have a great day. Blessings all around. You have a blessed day, Woman of Spirit. We'll talk at you later. Ed got bait, said I had tickets and everything, had to give them away. Hold on a second, I gotta do something here. Okay. Woman of Spirit is, Robin Cease is Woman of Spirit. Have a good one. So I was looking forward to meeting you, Ed. Yep, Ed's a great guy. Hey, Ed, when you send me that package, you ought to send me a photo of yourself so I can at least put your photo up with your goods. Because I showed everybody your necklace earlier. Yep, now you got to put earrings with the necklaces. It, Robin, all this stuff is going to be on my table. I'm taking care of his stuff. And I have cookbooks, and then he has the rest of the stuff. And sign your photo, Ed. Yes, I will do autographs for those that request it. Mine isn't going to look fancy. They're going to be in, I'll show you the kind of folders they're going to be in. See, I've got these standard folders, and they're going to be in the center of these. If I can open it like that. Yes, Robert, I will do autographs. Anyway, no one wants my John Hancock. Yes, we do. I want it on your photo. This is actually cool. A picture of you should be on the back inside. Maybe. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe. Do it with my glasses on, because that's what I look like at the computer all the time, so I can read everything. That would be awesome, you and Lucy. Now that'd be, I have to depend on other people to take that picture, Robin. So sponsored picture with signature is $1 more with the product. Yeah, that sounds good. So Swanson, that sounds like a good idea. Robin C says, "Can you tell I am procrastinating doing my dishes? LOL." Well, Robin, I'd say, well, when you got done with yours, you want to come do mine? I have to have all my dishes done before I can start calling any birds. Ed says, "I will send the picture. I just sent you a message in Messenger, Verna." Okay, let me get to that. Oh, and that is a cute one. Dang, I was going to her my address for the dishes too. See, that's so Swanson. Knowing Ed, you may not be able to publish that picture. Ha ha ha. No, it's publishable. That is a good one, but it looks like it's an older picture, and it is publishable. See, Robert, you and I have a kind of similar problem. I don't mind doing other people's dishes. I just hate doing my own. So if you do my dishes, I'll do your dishes. In fact, before live stream, I ran some dishwater and put some dishes in it. And I did one load of dishes before live stream. I got back, yes, on vacation in Maine. Somehow you can show them on your live stream. Not sure how it's doing. Let me see how to do that. Let's see. Create a poll. No. Um, I don't see how to do that. Ed. Well, I think that's all I have left to do is pots, pans, and silverware. Oh, let me see here. Send feedback. I don't see where I can. I don't see where I can show my screen. Yeah, so I don't know how I can do that. Robin says, thankfully, not too many. Dinner last night was grilled, so no pots and pans. And Ed got beat said, amen, SO. Robin says, I have glasses, bowls, and silverware. Ed says, they make disposable forks and spoons also. But Ed, I don't like eating off of disposable silverware unless I absolutely have to. I don't like adding more plastic to the system. I don't mind the paper plates, but anything else, no. Robin says dinner last night was all from my garden except the beef. Robin, I can't afford beef right now. It's too dang expensive. I'm not much of a beef eater anyhow. When I used to buy a side of beef, I would get sick of it. When everybody else was still in the steak phase, it started tasting the livers, and I couldn't eat meat for 3 or 4 days when I started tasting like liver, because then I'd start gagging. So Swanson says, eat with your fingers. That's what we did in the caveman days. Can't eat soup with your fingers. Then you have to drink it. So you put it in a cup. I made some butter bean soup night before last. I hear a 3 week old quail crowing. I got mate says mine just came by, so we will be listening. Tell your mom I said hi. Rosie says we had hobo pie. I was ground beef, carrots, rutabaga, potatoes, zucchini, green beans, onions, garlic, and yellow squash. Now that's cool. Robin, I just watched yesterday where Japanese or Chinese, I can't remember what, was making a dish. She says Robin says with a cucumber, tomato, and salad. And what they did is they took all their vegetables. They took carrots, onions, celery, tomato, and they diced it up real fine. And they had salt and pepper, and then they scrambled up some eggs and poured it on top, and then they fried it all in the skillet. And it looked so good. But they cut them in julienne, then diced up the julienne slices. So I found a recipe that I want to use. That is Sunday brunch for us. Yeah. But see, I have to cook for me and Lucy. That's the only ones I cook for. But I can't wait until I get my freeze dryer. When I get my freeze dryer on my channel, there's going to be a lot of things that'll be showing on freeze drying. I'll freeze dry spatcock quail, freeze dry the wings whole for dog treats, and everything. Freeze dry the spines and the feet for soup broths. Robin C says, I had to increase the quantity because mother in law and brother in law moved in. Oh boy, that's always a pain when you got in laws living with you. I hope you are getting along good with them. Because I'll be doing both. I'll be doing a lot of raw quail so that they'll be ready for me to cook when I want to cook them. You rehydrate them overnight in the refrigerator. And I'll freeze dry leftover quail dishes that since I cook for more than one, I always have leftovers, so I can freeze dry those for other meal. You just mark on the Mylar bags what you got in the bags so that you don't get mixed up. And I may end up making my bone broth because I'm going to be making boneless quail. And then I'll make a big batch of bone broth and freeze dry that as well. So I can do a lot more growing and processing. So when the prices get too ridiculous, I'll have a bunch of it. Robin says, yeah, she has dementia, and brother-in-law is nonverbal. He is a diabetic, deaf, and blind, and he loves to feed the quail and rabbits. That is great because that's a different situation. When you have to be their caregiver than it is just relatives moving in. And it's good that even though he's non-verbal and deaf and blind, he still loves to feed the quail and rabbits. He probably loves petting them too. Because even deaf and blind, you can be do a lot more than a lot of people think. Well, it's pretty quiet now. Nobody's talking. Well, it is almost 2 hours. It's been an hour and 45 minutes. So we could call this a day. This is a very good chat, and I loved it. We got 8 likes. That is good. And there's 6 people in here. Well, I was just back for feeding everyone. Well, I tell you what, we'll go for 15 more minutes, and then we'll call it a day, because then it'd be time to take a Lucy out. Ron says, "You bet he does. He loves Dasher. We play hide and seek. Dasher finds them in case I am out with them and they wander separately." Bald Edible says, "Have lots of fun. Sounds good." 9 now. I forgot. No, I got 10 now, Ed. I got 10. Yay, I made my target. Only 35 days, I know. I only have 20 days to get the next cookbook done. And then I got to print everything off. Because Quail in the Kitchen #2 comes out at QuailCon. And we got a lot more recipes. Wild Edibles is nice. I love cooking. Wild Edibles, are you a member of Quail in the Kitchen? Robin C says, this will be my first vacation since last QuailCon. S.O. Swanson says, I forgot too. Thanks for the reminder. Now we have 12. No, we only have 11. We don't have 12 yet. We need one other person to get 12. So thumbs up, everybody. What I want to see next week, I want to see everybody bring somebody with them. Well, Annabelle says, I will look that up on Facebook. I barely go there, but I will definitely check it out. Here is the link for Quail in the Kitchen. No, it shows 11. You were 11. It doesn't show 12. Robin C says, I like it during the notifications. Now, next Saturday, everybody should try to get somebody to come in with them. That way we can grow the community more. Just thanks, loving the Quail community. Well, Edible, this is a great community. And when you meet them all in person, you find out they're all just sweethearts. The ones that aren't sweethearts don't last. But the thing is, the people in the Quail community, at least in our Quail community, are all for helping each other. Wild Edibles says, how can you not be sweet raising quail? They are so tiny and cute. LOL. Well, there's some people that have bad attitudes that say that they're better than everybody else, and there ain't nobody better than anybody else. Yes, oh Swanson, they are tasty. Um, and there's other people that get into it for greed, and if you're just in it for money, you're in the wrong profession. You have to be in it more for your family first. Put family first and then money. If you make enough money to pay for your quail's food, then you're doing great. Well, out about I just sold 40 chicks and only one extra hatch, but it's hanging out with chicken chicks younger than it, so it's doing good. Robin, when I get off of here, I will go through it. I hope you answered all the questions and agree to the group rules, because that's what you have to do to join. And let me see real quick here. Okay, Robin, you're in. Well, yes, exactly. This 40 was a weird situation, but I'm not here for money, LOL. I love the animals. Robin laughs. Well, Edible says, you don't really make money breeding your own animals. S.O. Swanson says, I'm sure we can make an exception for Robin. Ha ha ha. Robin says, I saw you smile at my first answer. Yep. That's one thing, is my face is plain. I'm a wide open book. But some people think I'm mad when I'm not mad. And that's because I got a resting bitch face. Robin, you also need to join newbie quail lovers. Let me see. And another group everybody should be in is uh, this one. Anytime, because we work together and we're in each other's group, so might as well spread the joy. When my alarm goes off, I'll have to leave you guys, so I'm giving you fair warning. I don't have that particular group because that's not a my shire group, but I do have let me find it. Self-sufficient quail. And quail for profit. Hey, cuz that's great. Are you going to do a live stream on that? Or just writing it up, putting it in files? Oh, Maggie, Zach and Jenna's Great Dane, is pregnant. So they will be having puppies during QuailCon. Well, cuz if you write it up and send it to me, I'll read it off to you read it off during a live stream. And I'll give you credit for it. I tell you what, when they're molting and you grab hold of one, it feels like you got hold of a porcupine. overbreeding, they can look like they're molting, but they're not because they're losing so many feathers, and that's from the too many males mounting them. Well, the 150 quill I got were different ages. Well, if the beaks are really curved, they're getting old. When they start getting brown spot, a brown cap on them, on the eggs, and it gradually gets a bigger. That's one in towards the end of our process productivity. I think Katrina just did one on that. Let me see if I can find it. Let me find it. Let me find it. Let me find it. So and tear.
But so yeah, she's doing all right. Her life is okay.
Okay, you guys, I'm going to post the one where Katrina did it on the old age. Says mine are all. S.O. Swanson says I do pictures. Do pictures of the difference between molting, aggression, and overbreeding, but I don't have any doing any of those. Robin C says mine are all the same age except Bruce, but this time of year is when all are replaced. S.O. Swanson says guess I'll have to solicit some. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be calling all my breeders now within the next week or two and putting all the newbies into the colony cages. Echo, stop. Well, all another great session is over. So you have a blessed day, and I'll see you next week. But I'll also see you tomorrow night at my Shire Farms. Have a blessed day.